Hey, good morning everyone. Can you confirm audible or not? Can you hear me? So where we stopped in the last session? Where we stopped in the last session? So for what we discussed, let me ask some questions just you can answer it. Okay. I have few questions. You know why we go for HTML? The next one is like what is inline and what is block level elements. Okay. The next one is like what is an attribute? What is an attribute? Okay. The next one, what is okay, inline and block level, and what is an attribute? Elements behavior is depending on what? Elements behavior depending on elements behavior is depending on. Can we convert inline to block level? Inline to block and block to inline. Inline. Can we convert or not? Okay. The next one is like why? Okay. H1 text looks big font size and bold, some different way. It's like different look, right? Different format. It's like display the text or not. Why? Okay, can anyone answer these questions? Can any one of you? Can any one of you answer these questions? Why we go for HTML? Okay, CSS and JavaScript also you can tell. Why we go for? Anyone? By using HTML, what we can do? We can create some templates, right, which is running inside the browser. We can create some templates which is running in the browser. This is running in the browser. To that particular template, if you want to make it like look and feel, you can apply CSS. On that element, if you want to perform some action, you can go with JavaScript or not. Understood? 3 lines. To prepare the content, HTML. To make the look and feel, CSS. To perform some actions, JavaScript. Next, what is inline and what is block level? What is inline and what is block level? Come on, what is inline and what is block level? The element which take the content width as its own width. Only content width if it's taken, that is inline. Element which take the parent width as its own width, that is like a block level. Tell me some inline elements. Span, italic, bold, all these like inline elements. Block level. Tell me some block level elements. What are those? Para, H1, div, UL. These all are like a block level elements. Okay. What is an attribute? What is an attribute? Attribute is like a key value pair. Attribute is like a key value pair. It is always tell something about what? Attribute is like a key value pair. It is always tell something about an element. Okay. So elements behavior is depending on CSS, what you applied or not. Yesterday we discussed. Elements behavior is depending on the CSS, what you applied. Can we convert inline to block level to inline? Yes, we can convert. Why the H1 text in different format compare with others? Means H1 text, not only H1, any element behavior is depending on the CSS what we applied. H1 is behaving like this way, H1 is applied with okay, which properties? Display block. The next, a font size is like 2em. The next, font weight is like bold. The next, the margin for two sides. Margin. Okay, like this, different properties are applied. That the reason my H1 is behaving like this or not. Okay, up to here, anyone have any questions? Now you can conclude like elements behavior is depending on the css what you applied. Elements behavior is like depending on the css what you applied. So our next level discussion is like about the css. Okay, so how to apply some css properties to my element? How many ways are there? How many ways are there we can apply the css to my elements? That is the question. These six among these six topics, anyone have any questions? Among these six, anyone have any questions? Hmm? No? Okay. Let's go with the CSS now. So my question is very simple. Now listen carefully. I have one element is there. One div such a. Okay. Like this three elements are there. One para is there. Only. And one H1 is there. Though there has three players, three elements done. My question is what I want to apply. I want to change the look and feel. If you run this one, simply Sachin, Kohli, Dhoni is like visible to the end user in the browser. No problem at all. But my question is like what? I want to apply red color for these three elements. I want to apply red color for these three elements. So how we can apply red? I want to apply red color for these three elements. How we can apply? Come on. If you want to change the look and feel, then you can go with what? CSS, right? So that I want to apply some CSS to these elements or not. So you said like CSS, CSS, CSS. What is the syntax? How it is looks like? Means very simple. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. If you want to apply the CSS to one element, let's check. Go to website. Go to website. Okay, any website you can go to this particular store. What code they written? How we can check? Right click and inspect it. Right click and inspect it. Now see there has one more window opened or not. This window you can say like a developer console window. This window we can say like a developer console window. Okay. Now to this particular store, what is the code they written? This is the code they written or not. Now the store in which color? The store is like normal black color only. The store is like in the black color only. But my question is like I want to store in the red color with big font size. I want store in the red color with big font size. If you want the store in the red color with the big font size, the element behavior you have to change it. Now it's like black. Okay, it's like no effect. It's a plain text. I want in the red color with what? I want in the red color with the font size. I want to change the behavior. If you want to change the behavior, then you can go with what? If you want to change the behavior, then you can go with what? CSS, right? If you want to change the behavior, then you can go with the CSS. So how we can apply the CSS? If you want to change the behavior, then you can go with the CSS. How we can apply the CSS? Tell me. Very simple. This is the anchor, na? This is the anchor, na? So come to the right side. There is a styles over there, right? So here element dot style one section is there. Are you able to see element dot style? There is a curly brace is opened and closed. After curly brace, just put your cursor and click on it. Now see, my cursor is blinking. My cursor is like blinking in the editable mode or not. So I want to apply which color? So I want to apply color as per your requirement. See, whenever I write color and click on enter, it is next come to the next section. Which color you want to see? The colors, so many colors are there. Which color you want as per your requirement? Red color. Done. Now click on the tab again. Now it comes to the next property. Okay. Now font size how much? See, everything is like you can get the font size. How much you want to click on tab. Now it comes to the next section. 50 pixel. Now see my store in which color now? red color with big font size or not. So the element behavior you changed or not. The element behavior you changed or not. So element behavior we can change by applying CSS. That point already we discussed yesterday. But my question is the CSS how it is looks like. Observe here. Color is one section, red is one section, font size is one section, 50 is one section. These two sections, okay, applied one value, color red value applied or not. These two sections applied font size is like 50 pixel or not. So if you observe this syntactically, my CSS always looks like what? It's a key value pairs or not. So key value pairs. So don't say like CSS, CSS. Give proper name. One key value pair is like one property. So that if you want to apply some CSS, you should know about some CSS properties or not. You should know about some CSS properties. Here, which CSS property is there? Color red is one CSS property. Font size 50 pixel is one CSS property. Apply to which element? Anchor element or not. So that my question is, if you want to apply some CSS, what inputs are required? Inputs to apply CSS. What inputs you should with you? What kind of inputs you should have? One is like the CSS properties. Okay, property or properties. Property or properties. The next one is like if you have a CSS properties, that is enough. No, no. If you have a CSS property, that CSS property you have to apply to one element or not, so that that element also required. That CSS property you have to apply with one element or not. That element also required or not. That element also required. So one thing is like if you want to apply some CSS, if you want to apply some CSS, how many inputs you should with you? How many inputs you should with you? Tell me. How many inputs you should with you? Two inputs. One is like the CSS properties. Another one is like element. Now, in this case, elements there are not there are div, para, h1. These are the elements. CSS properties. From where I can get it? See, in the browser itself, you can see the CSS properties. Okay, keys you can see, values also you can see. See this? These many CSS properties are there. Observe. See. These many CSS properties are there. Okay, these many CSS properties are there. These many CSS properties, who can remember? You want? Is it possible? First of all, tell me. Is it possible? Is it possible? These many CSS properties. No one can remember also. No need also. Okay, directly go to browser. You can find everything, right? Why I need to remember all these things? Okay, but basic things if you know, okay, font size, color, this kind of things. Okay, if you know, that is good. But all the CSS properties, how we can remember? These many CSS properties are there. See, okay, one CSS property with how many values? Color is the CSS property with how many values? See this? Okay, this is one color. This is one color. This is one color. See this? So many colors are there. So many colors are there. These many color values. Who can remember? Huh? No one can remember. No need also. Why? Because that is already in the browser, right? Okay, already in the internet, right? You can find it, right? Okay, everything is there in the internet. Then why I need to remember? So no need to remember also. No problem at all. Okay, directly you can get it. Understood? So the thing is, if you want to apply CSS, what inputs are required? That is the question. Tell me, answer. If you want to apply the CSS to one element, what inputs are required? Come on, what inputs are required? What inputs are required? Two inputs are required. One is like what? Two inputs are required. One is like what? Hmm? inputs are required. One is like what? Your CSS property, and another one is like what? Your CSS property, and another one is like what? And another one is like your element. Another one is like your element. Your element also required. If you have these two in your hand, yes, you can apply. Yes, you can apply. Understood? So I have these two CSS properties I can get from my browser or internet. Elements are with me only. So that if you have these two, how many ways we can apply? That is the question. How many ways can we apply CSS properties to an element? That is the question. How many ways? There has three ways we can apply. Three ways we can apply the CSS properties to an element. The first one is what you know. One is like inline styling. Another one is like internal styling. Another one is like external styling. One is like inline, another one is like internal, and another one is like what? External styling or not. So these are the three ways. These are the three ways we can apply the CSS properties to my element or not. These are the three ways to apply CSS properties to my elements or not. Okay, everyone? Okay, so shall we go with the first one? What is my first one? Inline styling. The first one is like what? Inline styling. So how we can apply by using inline styling this particular CSS properties to my element? Okay, one second. Yeah. So by using inline styling, how we can apply the CSS properties to my element? Okay, so let me write the code now. So let's go with our workspace folder, open folder, Django, select the folder. Now, first one is like what? Inline styling, styling.html. Okay, now. So here I have three elements. One is like a Dev Sachin, another one is like a Paradoni, and another one is like H1. So three elements I have. Let me run it. Let me run it. Now see these three elements are like normal. Okay, it's like a black color with the default behavior. Okay, that's okay, fine. Now I want to apply red color. If you want to apply some CSS, first what inputs are required? CSS properties are required, elements are required. Elements I have, the CSS properties also I know. What are the CSS properties are required? Tell me. Two inputs. CSS properties, which properties are required? My color. Property is nothing but what? Property is nothing but what? Key value pair. Color red is one property. Okay. Property is nothing but key value pair. Color red is one property. Okay, now this key value, how we can differentiate key to value? Key to value, how we can differentiate? Come on. CSS property is nothing but it's a key value pair. Key to value, how we can differentiate? Key to value we can differentiate by using, come on, key to value we can differentiate by using column. Okay. Now, how many CSS properties? Two. So another one is like what? Font size 30 pixel. So key value I can differentiate using column. One property. One property is what? Color red. Another property is what? Font size. One property to another property, how we can differentiate? One property to another property, how we can differentiate? One property to another property, how we can differentiate? By using semicolon. Key to value we can differentiate colon. One key value to another key value. That means one property to another property we can differentiate by using semicolon. Semicolon. That is the syntax you have to remember. So which elements you want? Div, para, and h1 or not. So these elements I want to apply. What kind of styling? First styling is what? What kind of styling you want me to apply? Come on, inline styling. So if it is like inline styling, syntactically how we can apply, by using style attribute we can apply. If it is like inline styling, we can go with the style attribute. Already we discussed something about the attributes, right? In the last session we discussed something about the attributes. What is an attribute? My attribute, it's a key value pair. It is always in the open tag. We can write any number of attributes. Okay, all these things, it tells something about the element or not. All these things we discussed. So if you come here, style attribute I said. So how I can use the style attribute? Attribute is a key value pair. So attribute name is what? Style. So that style is my attribute. It's a key and a value. Okay. So style is an attribute. Style is a key and a value. Style is an attribute. Style is a key and a value. Understood? By using style attribute, I can apply inline styling. Attribute is nothing but key value, key value, key value. My value is important. Value is what? Your CSS properties. If it is like a CSS property is nothing but what again? Property. Attribute also key value. Property also again key value only or not. Property also again key value only or not. If it is like a key value, again, if my property also like a key value, now tell me how we can. If my property is like a key value, tell me how we can. Anyone? How it looks like if my property is like a key value? How it looks like? Are you able to hear me? Can anyone confirm? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If my property also key value pair, if my property also key value pair, okay, here you can write it. What is my property? My color red is one property. Next one is what? Font size 30 pixel, one more property. Now see, this is CSS section. This whole thing is like an attribute section. Attribute also key value pair, and my CSS also key value pair. In the CSS, if you see, key value, how we can differentiate key value? In the CSS key value, how we can differentiate? With the column. With the column. Color red, column. Font size 30 pixel, column. One property to another property, how we can differentiate? With semicolon or not. Done. Like this, the same CSS properties I want to apply for what? For my Dhoni also, right? For my Dhoni also. The same CSS property I want to apply for what? For my H1 also or not. Done. Now, if you come here, if I refresh the page, now see, my Sachin Dhoni Kohli color is like red and my font size is like 30 pixel. Applied or not? Can we check it? Will it applied or not? So go and inspect it. If you see, my style color red, font size 30 pixel, para, and my H1 also applied or not. So this is the way we can apply the CSS properties to my element through inline styling. Through inline styling. Okay then. If it is like inline styling is like very good to use, effectively you can able to use it, then that why they introduced like internal and external. They introduced two more means there has some drawbacks maybe there in the inline. Okay, to overcome, they introduced something else. To overcome, they introduced something else or not. So, inline styling drawbacks are what? Anyone? The inline styling drawbacks are what? By seeing this one, you only tell. Inline styling drawbacks are what? Anyone? Very simple, na? By seeing this one, see, color red font size 30 pixel, color red font size 30 pixel, color red font size 30 pixel. See how many times you written the same duplicate code. How many times you return the same code? 3 times, right? Let's think 100 times maybe in future. I don't know. So if you want to apply, okay, the inline styling through style attribute, you can apply. But the problem here is this: there may be a chance of writing the same code in each and every element level or not. Any programming language you can take it. Writing the duplicate code is not a recommended one or not. In any programming language you can take it. Write a duplicate code is not a right approach or not. Write the duplicate code is not the right approach or not. Yes or no? So that if you write, that's okay, working, but it is not a recommended one. Writing the duplicate code is not a recommended one. Okay, why it is not means, tomorrow if you want to do the change, hey, I don't want color red, I want green color, then how many places that change is required? One, two, three. Okay, for example, 100 are there, 100 elements you have to do the change or not. So is it recommended one or not recommended one? Is it recommended one or not recommended one? Making the changes are like very costly, right? Making the changes are like very costly or not. So don't go with the inline styling. These are the drawbacks. Can you write the drawbacks? Tell me. First drawback is what? First drawback is what? Duplicate code. The second drawback is what? Making changes are very costly. Making the changes are like what? Very costly or not? Making the changes are like very costly or not? Okay, that's the reason. Don't go with the inline styling. So to overcome those drawbacks, they introduced what again? To overcome those drawbacks, they introduced what? Internal styling or not. Okay, these are required for Django. Okay, internal styling or not. Okay, tell me, internal styling, how we can apply? That is the question, right? Okay, you go with the internal means that internal styling should overcome those drawbacks or not. So how we can overcome those drawbacks? How we can apply internal styling? That is the first question. Okay, so can I go with the internal styling? Internal styling dot html. Internal styling dot html. Okay, na? So let's go with the one div Sachin. Let's go with the div Dhoni. Let's go with the, okay, it's Parana. Para. The next one is like H1 only. Okay, same. This time you want me to go with internal or inline? Inline already I applied. I know the drawbacks also. I don't want to go with that. So I want to go with what this time? Come on. I want to go with what? Internal styling or not? Okay. Tell me, internal styling, how we can apply? Internal styling, how we can apply? Hmm? Internal styling, how we can apply? Anyone? Okay, very simple answer. Internal styling, we can apply style tag. Style tag. The difference is what? Style attribute, and this is the style tag. Okay, now the question. Hey, tell me, what is the difference between style tag and style attribute? If anybody asks, what's your answer? What is the difference between style tag and style attribute? What's your answer? Style tag and style attribute. What's your answer? Go on.
Attribute is a keyword.
Mhm.
Tag is both.
Okay, very simple. Style attribute is used for to apply the inline styling, style tag is used for to apply the internal styling or not. That is the main difference you have to tell. Style attribute is used for what? It's a inline styling to apply. It's a key value pair. Always in the open tag. Internal styling is what? Style tag, not attribute. Style tag or not. So tag, how we can write? Tag, how we can write? Can anyone? How we can write the tag? Open
Open tag and close tag.
and symbol. After that, you can write like this: open tag and closing
Tag.
tag.
Close tag.
So in between, you have to write internal styling or not. Okay. So internal styling syntax is something different. Internal styling syntax is something different. Internal, external syntax is same. Internal and external syntax is like same. So what is the syntax? You know, very simple. First, to which element you want me to apply the CSS property, select the element. So that first one is like element selector. Okay, element selector is nothing but, okay, select an element, selector. In the, okay, once you have the selector div para, I want to apply what? CSS properties. Property is nothing but what? Key value pair. Color red, one CSS property, comma, font size 30 pixel, one more CSS property, font size 30 pixel. Okay, like this, any number of CSS properties you can write. But multiple CSS properties are there. Nah? Can you wrap with a single, okay, entity like an object, curly brace open and curly brace close. Okay, here any number of CSS properties you can write. All the CSS properties are applied to this selector element. To this particular element it is going to apply. Understood the selector? Select an element. Which element you want me to apply? Which properties you want me to apply? You know that. Those properties you can wrap with the curly braces. That's it. Okay, let's go. In the style tag, first you have what you have to write. Select that. After that, your CSS properties. What CSS properties? You know that. First, color. See the helpers. Color. Which color? Red. Done. The next one is what? Font size. How much? 30 pixel or not? Okay. So these CSS properties I want to apply to which element? Can you select the element? For example, there is 10 members or there. If you want to, if I want to pick, okay, I have to communicate with them, right? With some name. So if I want to apply this to my para Dhoni, what is the name? What is the element name? Para is my element name or not? So like that, div para, okay, div is my element. After that, para and h1 will see. So first, it is going to check div, div. Okay, in my class, 10 members are there. Among those 10 members, I am looking for one person whose name is like div. So in my class, okay, 3 members are there. I am looking for one person whose name is like div. Yes, there. Once is there, okay, I want to add or apply these CSS properties or not. So my div is applied with these many CSS properties. Now open with live server. Now see my Sachin Dhoni Kohli is there. To my Sachin, applied the CSS properties or not? Yes or no? To my Sachin, apply the CSS properties or not? Agree with me? Okay. Like this, how many CSS properties you want me to apply? Like this, how many CSS properties you want me to apply? Come on, like this, how many CSS properties you want me to apply? Like this, how many CSS properties you can apply? Any number of
Two
CSS.
properties.
Okay, to any number of CSS properties based on your requirement, you can apply. Okay, now these two CSS properties I want to apply for what? Para. So can I go? Okay, I want to select what? Para. My color red and my font size is like 30 pixel. Now tell me, is it the recommended way? Why you want to shift inline to internal? Why? Because Why? Because you written like a duplicate code. After shifting also inline to internal, again you writing like what duplicate code means. What is the use of? Here also color red font size. Here also color red font size. There is no use, right? So he applied, but there is no use. See this color red font size applied or not applied? Check. Let's go to this. Okay, let me refresh. Now see, my color red font says that. The color red font says that he applied, but you written like duplicate code or not. Writing the duplicate code is not the recommended. Writing the duplicate code is not the recommended. Writing the duplicate code is not the recommended one. Then how? Okay, very simple. There is an option is there in the internal styling. What you know? If you want to apply the same CSS properties for multiple selectors, write the selectors with comma separated like this. Okay, whenever you written like this, those CSS properties are applied for these three selectors. Now tell me, how many times you written the code? How many times you written the code? Tell me. Three times or one time?
Present
Only
one time, sir. Last one 3 times.
one time you written or not. See, whatever the drawbacks are there here, now you overcome or not. You written the duplicate code, but here you not written any duplicate code. Making the changes are like costly or easy. Making the changes. Okay, for example, I want to apply color red to green. I want to apply color red to green. Now tell me, if you want to apply color red to green, how many places that change is required? Okay, how many places that change is required? Come on. How many places that change is required? Very simple. Color
Color
red.
property. Color
Okay,
property will
just
change.
go here. You can write like a green. Now, if you come here, only one place is enough or not? Yes or no? Come on. Green to blue. Only one place is enough or not? Now see that? Yes. Only one place is enough. Yes or no? Agreed or not? So whatever the drawbacks are there in line, you overcome those drawbacks in internal or not? I written the code only one time. That means duplicate code I have written. And the next one is like making the changes are easy or costly? Easy or difficult? Easy, right? Only one place is enough. It is effective for all or not. So whatever the drawbacks are there, we overcome those drawbacks in the internal styling. But why they introduce really internal styling working as expected, working without any drawbacks? Then why they introduced external? That is the question, right? But they introduced external means there has some drawbacks are there in the internal also or not. There has some drawbacks are there in the internal also or not. Okay, what is the drawback? Okay, external. Okay, why we go for external means very simple. Let's go with the external style. Now this time I want to go with what okay, one application. Okay, usually most of the times we are going to see like what applications, not simple pages, right? Single pages, not application. Most of the times we are going to see or not. So I want to create one application like a quick info application which contains three things, think like that. So here I'm going to create one application. What is my application name? Quick info. In the quick info there are three themes out there. One is like India dot html. Another one is like rsystem.html. Okay, and another one is like west indies.html. Okay, three teams I have. Requirement, what each and every team should contains three players. Okay, should contains three players. Just complete that one first. Okay, now my div, my player name is what? Like this you can write div. Okay, I want to go with div parent and my h1 sorry, in my application. India team players are ready. Okay, done. Now let's go with the Aussies players. Okay. Okay. The next one is like women's. Done. There has three players. Aussies players also ready. Next, West Indies players. West Indies players. Lara, Pollard, and Brown. Okay. These are the West Indies players. Now you can run the application. Okay. My Aussies players I'm running. My Aussies players I'm running. Okay. The next one is like, okay, from here, I want to go with the, what I can say, just I want to navigate one page to another page, for example. So here I want to write one page to another page navigation. Which element is there? One page to another page navigation. Which element is there? Come on, which element is there? Anchor tag, na? Anchor. Okay, now India. Now here. Okay, Australia. The next one is like West Indies. Okay. If you want to navigate, which attribute is required? Which attribute is required? Href attribute or not? So that href is the attribute. I want to go with the Aussies. The next one is like href attribute. I want to go with the West Indies. So let me copy this one, save it. I want to add for remaining all also. Remaining all also. Okay, done. The next one is like this is another one, done. Okay. Now let me run the page. Let me run the page. Okay, what is my actual page? Okay, any file you can run it. This is my Australia. Okay, now whenever you click on the India.html, whenever you click on the West Indies, my West Indies.html, like this, it is like, okay, there is something wrong. Huh? Why multiple times it's coming? India, Australia, West Indies. There is something wrong. India is okay. Australia, West Indies. West Indies and Australia. Okay. Like extra. Many mothers. Okay. Okay, that's all. You have to remove this one. The next one is like what? India. You have to remove this one. I copied the entire page. That's the reason. Okay. Now you can refresh the page. Australia, West Indies, Lara Pollard, India, Sachin Kohli, and Australia and West Indies. This is like an application, you can say. Now my requirement, what I want to apply red color font size for all these players. Tell me how we can do it. So far, only two stylings. One is like inline, another one is like internal. You said like inline is not recommended one, then you can go with the internal. Internal, how we can apply? Tell me. Internal styling, how we can apply? By using
Style dash.
style tag. By using style tag. So that, okay, can I apply by using style tag? Where? Which page? Assist. Now let's go and check. Okay, now I'm in the West Indies. If I go to the Australia, yes, that is applied or not. Okay, but if you come to the India, it is not applied. West Indies not applied. But as per my requirement, what? As per my requirement is what? Tell me, as per my requirement, I want to apply for all the teams or not? Yes or no? So I want to apply for West Indies. I want to apply for India also. Okay, done. Now tell me, requirement satisfied or not? Check. First, India, okay, West Indies, Australia, and India. Requirement satisfied. But the problem is what? In my application, there has 100 files are there, 100 teams are there. Each and every team has the players. You written the same code in each and every file or not. So again, you written the duplicate code or not. At which level? Element level or file level at this time? You written the duplicate code in which level? Element level or file level? Come on. You written the duplicate code at file level. See, Australia.html, this one. India.html, this one. West Indies.html, this one. You written the duplicate code at which level? File level or not? Okay, now they said like, hey, all the team players is blue color, that's okay, but they asked me to take red color. Then the type, what you have to do? Go to the first one, do the change. Go to the second file, do the change. Go to the third file, do the change. Like this 100 files are there. You want me to change like this 100 times? Is it the recommended one? Is it the recommended one? Tell me. Is it the recommended one? 100% no, right? So that there has some drawbacks or there or not. There has some drawbacks. What the drawback? Again, you written the duplicate code at which level? You written the duplicate code at which level? Come on, element level or file level? You written the duplicate
File
code
levels.
file level or not? You written the duplicate code at the file level. Element level or file level, it's not a matter. You written the duplicate code or not. So it is not the recommended one. So in the internal styling also, the duplicate code you return. So to overcome that problem, they go with what? External styling. Okay, external styling, if you want to go, then what don't write inline, don't write external. Okay, better to go with, okay, don't write internal, better to go with external. How external in the name itself, external is nothing but another file. Okay, so you can create one file. Okay, any name you can give it styles. Okay, the extension is like CSS. The extension is like what? CSS. You can create a file with the extension of what? With the extension of CSS. Whatever the code you written, okay, that code you can delete it, not required at the element level or file level, not required. Why? Because I want to go with external styling, so that I deleted in each and every place. I deleted in each and every place. Now I want to add in the styles.css file, but it gives me some error. What is that error? See, here external CSS is like a separate .css file. No need of style tag. Nothing is required. The file itself CSS. No need to tell external. It's like a styles like that. So don't use the style tag in your CSS file. Remaining syntax is like same. So I added my CSS properties in the style.css. How many times you return? Only one time you return. Will it work or not work? Check it. Now see, it is not applied, right? It is not working. It is not working. Then you return the CSS in another external file. That is okay. You return the CSS in another external file. That is okay. But that particular CSS is not applied. So what you have to do, whenever you have external CSS file, that file has to load. Okay, how we can load, if you want to load an external CSS file in the HTML, we have one tag is there, link tag, with the two mandatory attributes. What first one is like relation equals to style sheet, and my href equals to relation equals to style sheet, and my href is equals to what? My href equals to your style path, your CSS file path. Now I want to apply the CSS, okay, in each and every file. Don't think like this one line also you are like duplicate. Okay, you are writing like duplicate. Okay, at least one line you have to write it. There is no other option for us at this moment. In another way also there, okay, single page applications one time is enough. That's okay. That is not our discussion. I written like this. Now can you come here, check it. Now it is like applied or not. Australia applied, West Indies applied, and India applied. Now today I don't want red, I want like a blue color. Then the time, how many places that change is required? How many places that change is required? Only one place is enough or not. See this, where in your .css file. Now once you did the change, now if I refresh, now see, applied or not applied. Applied, right? So whatever the drawbacks are there, those drawbacks you will overcome here or not in the external styling. Understood? How to apply inline, internal, and external. Okay. So Monday onwards, we are going to start our actual Django sessions. These HTML CSS knowledge is enough to create your templates in Django. Okay. Whenever it's required, we can discuss something more. Okay, then thank you guys. Thanks for joining. We'll continue on Monday.